Good afternoon and happy Sunday. Um, and this is like my little weekend get ready for work show where I just come on and I just talk about how I'm going to get ready for the week and some of the things that I do to prepare. And I was thinking all weekend about what this show should be about. And it would be hard to remiss about what has happened in my community. So, for those of you that don't know, um, I live in the city next to West Bloomfield where the tragedy happened. And so that is basically my backyard. And it was a tragedy, and the trauma that many of my friends and people in my community, from my old coworkers to my yoga instructor, everybody that lives in this area was affected by the terrorist attack that happened at Temple Israel. And it is one of those things where um, what is terror? Terror is fear, right? And fear is something that is does three things to you. Okay, it does, you know, freeze, which is one of my things that I like to do. Is like freeze, like I can't do anything at all. Flight, which is like run away, or um, fight, right? So I get the fight from my mom. But sometimes, those are the things that it's telling us to do. And so I've always been one to go against the crowd. And in this particular time um, in our lives, right? Like we have to push through that fear, right? We have to push through and continue to show up and be there for everyone, because at these, you know, they don't want us to be together, right? They want us to run. They want us to fight. They want us to freeze and do absolutely nothing. And we have to learn to do the opposite. So today's show is really about trauma and tragedy and how to overcome those things. So I hope that you enjoy our show today. I'm starting it a little earlier today because I would like to go home and be with my family. So I've spent a lot of time this week with my family too. We had a death in our family, and it is so important for us to come together right now, to not run away, to not fight each other, but to really kind of find peace, right? Not only just with each other, but within ourselves. This is an unusual thing because most of the time in our world, we get along very peacefully here in our community in Michigan. So to have something like this happen, with all of the events going on in the world, it's like most of us, and I don't know about you, but we're thinking like, when is enough enough, right? When are we going to find peace? And so I want us to all think about like how we can create more peace with each other, try to have a little bit more understanding and a little bit more compassion, so we can continue to move forward, right? So I wanted to just get started today with just doing a little hand mudra. And this mudra is about creating a sense of security. So here's what we do. We're going to take our thumb and we're going to put it in, and then we're going to hold our middle finger up like this. And this is how we're going to create it. Now, the longer that you can hold these little hand yogas for, the more beneficial they are to you. And and you can see kind of where you don't want to do that, right? It's sort of like your own body going, I'm not sure this is okay, right? And this is sort of like how I get through some of my trauma sometimes, right? Sometimes I was watching some videos of myself, and I kind of have this like one side thing that goes on, and and I'll tell you why that is. Okay, it's not because there's anything wrong with me. It's because like when I'm really stressed out, which is like 80% of the time, I hold it all in. Like I'm gritting my teeth. I'm like, "Ugh, I don't know if I can handle this," right? And I, like, absorb all of this stress, and I've done it so much that, like, I've sort of, like, blown out, like, my cheek here, right? And, like, there's, like, this super jaw tension, so I've been watching all these videos on, like, how to, like, release this, sort of tension because I really believe that there is a mind body spirit connection. That's sort of like my life philosophy. And so I know that if I can reverse engineer it, sometimes I work like through the mental back down to the body, but sometimes you have to like work through the body out into the mind in order to connect with yourself spiritually. So I'm just going to do this a few more times. Here we go. This is hard. To just give myself a sense of security. And it says that we're in good hands. Now, I have this very unusual background, So my mom and dad, they came together. My dad is Jewish. My mom is Episcopalian, she'll say. Um, and and we were what we call like holiday religion, right? So like we would celebrate like the holidays at home. We would celebrate Christmas. We would go to church once on Easter, but I was like very interested in it. So from like a very young age, my mom taught at a Catholic school, and like growing up, I never got good grades in anything. Maybe because at the time I was ADHD and just one of those things where I didn't really know how to like operate within this world, I guess. But the religion was very beautiful to me. So I grew up going to Catholic school. They had religions class, and I was like, I got all A's in the religions class. No other good grades there, but the religion I was very interested in. And my parents, they didn't go to church or temple or anything like that. So I learned in Catholic school. I went to Lutheran church with my neighbor and I loved it. So they took me every Sunday, and I was the one that I got all good grades in this stuff. I was very fascinated. I was very like, I always wanted God to be a part of my life. I always knew that that was like really important to me. And so then to honor when I got married, we started bringing in more of our Jewish traditions. So we got married by a humanistic rabbi. And then, my husband and my son, we decided to raise our son Jewish to honor our grandparents. So, we started going to temple more and more for his bar mitzvah. And at the time, one of our temple friends was like, "Oh, you're Jewing up, it's time for you to Jew up." And it's hard for me to sort of explain to you this background that I have because it's hard to even say today that you're Jewish, right? A lot of people, including myself, I haven't been wearing my star lately because it's a thing, right? And sometimes it's like, oh no, it's not, but it kind of is. Um, and it's one of those things where why you do it. And when I started learning more and more about the Jewish religion, most of the Jewish religion is about peace, right? I think we talk about more peace in our services than we do any other topic. And I think that's what we all need right now. Like, we all need a little bit of peace. And so I have overcome a lot of traumas and tragedies. But like, even just this week alone, um, would just hit a little too close to home. Too many people that I know, my husband and my son, both of their schools that are in the area were on lockdown. Many people were frightened and shook up, right? Like, they're like, it's just a little too close to home. And so when this is happening to us, I like I encourage everybody to go against the fear, right? So, to not fight, right? But to find peace. To not run, but to like hold your ground and stay still and show up, because to me, showing up even when it's really hard is like, that's my definition of true success, right? It's not how much money I have. It's not about the car I drive. It's staying in the game for as long as I possibly can, right? And going on this journey of entrepreneurship. And then, to not just sit there and do nothing, to not freeze and say, well, there's so many other things that we could be talking about today on this Sunday. There's so many other things that, are just easier to say. It's easier to switch it to a topic that I wanted to continue, which was to talk about, raising your vibration and raising your frequency. But this is what happens when we try to find joy, right? Because joy and excitement is so powerful. And then, this is why, right? These are the things that are happening to us to prevent us from moving up that emotional scale. And so it's been one of those things where it's like, what are we going to do? So, what I would also tell you is just to hold your family a little tighter, have a little compassion for your neighbors. Treat everybody like you want to be treated. And I think that we are going to get through this in a much productive time. Business is stressful. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm in, automotive transport. So it means I work with a lot of trucking companies, who are seeing fuel go through the roof. I'm working with a lot of people who are afraid to go out and purchase vehicles. They don't know what's going to happen. And I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, we have to continue to live our lives as joyfully and as peacefully as we possibly can in order to keep moving forward, and we have to come together to do it. So I wanted to just leave you today with, so I've been spending time with my son a lot lately, and I like to take him down my old rabbit holes of music. And so I always joke that Tupac Shakur is my mentor, but I wanted to just leave you today with some of his lyrics. And I'm going to try to slow it down a little bit. And I apologize for reading, because even though I do have it memorized, it's fast. And then because of my jaw, I kind of mess it up a little bit. So I'm just going to read you these lyrics. With all this extra stressin', the question I wonder is, after death, after my last breath, when will I finally get to rest through this oppression? They punish the people that's asking questions, and those that possess steal from the ones without possessions. The message I stress, to make it stop, study your lessons. Don't settle for less. Even the genius asks questions. Be grateful for blessings. Don't ever change. Keep your essence. The power is in the people and the politics we address. Always do your best. Don't let this pressure make you panic. And when you get stranded and things don't go the way you planned it, dreaming of riches in a position of making a difference, politicians and hypocrites, they don't want to listen. If I'm insane, it's the fame made a brother change. It was nothing like the game. It's just me against the world. Now, I also wanted to read his last one because I live by this quote sometimes. Because when you're in entrepreneurship, there's days you see the positives, guys, but you don't see me crying in my car. You don't see me fist bumping the truckers on the way home from work. There's a lot of things that go on in my business that you guys don't see. So I just want you to know that through every dark night, there's a brighter day after that. So no matter how hard it get, stick your chest out, keep your head up, and handle it. Thank you so much for watching my little soiree of a show today. And if you really liked it and if it helped you, please follow, please watch to the end. Please just help me get my message out. And thank you again for watching. With love, Rachel Blatt.